What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So we know that burning is probably the most interesting piece of information that we can see right now. We're seeing that in other cryptocurrencies as well, but let's just focus on Terra Luna Classic for this video. Um, so with the 6.9 trillion coins that is out there, we want to know how fast it's going to take to burn off these coins. Now we have two types of burning that we're seeing here. Well, technically more types, but we have two types of burning for transactional volume. We have on-chain, we have off-chain. People ask me this all the time. What is the difference between on-chain and off-chain? Simply put, on-chain is on the Terra Classic chain, so any transactions that flow through that chain. And off-chain would be anything that flows off of the chain. Very simple, simply put. And I hope this explains a little bit better, but anything that can happen off the chain, sort of like Binance to Binance. You trade within spot trading, you're trading within Binance. If you end up sending that from Binance to Terra Station, that would be considered on-chain because you're sending it to the Terra chain. You're sending it to the Terra wallet, which will be on the Terra chain. You also have Ethereum that can be off-chain. You have Binance Smart Chain. You have I can't even figure out what the other ones are. You have Solana. Yes, you do. You have Avalanche. You have Polygon. So you have all of these that are off-chain. So that's a real breakdown of that. So when it comes to on-chain and off-chain, does it really make a difference? Are we seeing a huge difference between the two? Some people will say, it doesn't matter. On-chain will still have enough of an impact. We have enough volume on-chain. Well, we would have a lot more volume on-chain if we had things like a BNB or like a Dogecoin or like multiple projects that are created on the Terra chain that we can trade to, because that would mean that you're trading Terra Classic or swapping Terra Classic for whatever this other position is. But you can't really do that on the Terra chain because there's only two main things that are there that we all focus on, which is USTC and it's Terra Luna Classic, right? Even Terra is on a separate chain there. But anyways, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about burns in this video and actually seeing the difference between the two. On-chain versus off-chain. How much can we expect it to burn? How long will it take? Let me know your guesses. You probably already know if you have watched my channel before. Let me know what your guesses are on the amount that's on-chain versus all of the burns. Not just off-chain, but all of the burns. So it's going to be on versus everything. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Patreon, feel free to follow me on Patreon. But let's go ahead and get into this. So this is what we're looking at here with Terra Luna Classic. We're looking at the 6.9 trillion. This is what we want to burn off, 6.904. I'm not going to include that in my calculation because I did this after the fact. Now, we know that we have this much. We know that it's a 1.2% burn. 1.2% burn factors into this total volume. So what is this total volume? Like, you're looking at dollar figures, but what is the actual volume? Well, if we go back here, the last time I checked, it was 1.6, but it may be different because of, how much the volume has increased or decreased over the last 24 hours. But I'm going to factor it in. It says 1.3 or 1.4 trillion. I'm going to go with 1.6 trillion because that's what it said when I did my calculation. So it was just adjusting because there was less volume going through today because of the paused deposits and paused withdrawals. But that's what we're seeing here. As you can see, the 1.4, I'm going to go with 1.6. So then we go into Terra Station here, and we want to understand what the on-chain volume is. So the on-chain volume will be about 162 billion. So I'm going to go with 160 billion and make everything simple, and make it clean, make it, a clean percentage there. So when you look at that, how much is burning off of the 162 billion versus the 1.6 trillion? Well, you can see that that is a 10x, right? So 1.6 trillion and 162 billion, that is a 10x move from the on-chain versus off-chain, meaning that 10% of the volume is going to on-chain, meaning there's 90% that's not being captured under this burn tax. So with that being said, let's get into a spreadsheet that I have here. So I just put this on Twitter. If you guys want early access to this stuff, I usually build it and post something interesting on Twitter or on Patreon about it. This is not really a spreadsheet that I'm offering to people, but it is something that I like to do. I like to just build different things. But you can see here you have the total volume, 6.9. You have all volume, which is 1.6 trillion. On-chain volume, which is 160 billion. Price, you know what the price is, 27. Burn rate, which is 1.2%. Now, if you go and look at the on-chain versus all burns, you would see 1.9 billion that can burn every single day. As long as you keep the price the same, you keep the volume the same, all of that stuff, you can burn 1.9 billion every day, which sounds amazing. You burning 1.9 billion, absolutely phenomenal. This is where my expectation came into play, saying that our expectation should be around 1 to 4 billion, depending on how much on-chain burns we can see. But if we had off-chain burns, if we had every single exchange out there that decided to do off-chain burns, or hell, even 95% or the top 10, might be more than that, but the top 10 or top 15 exchanges decide to do off-chain burns, we could see 19.2 billion. That is pretty massive. And again, that's a 10x move. So what's the difference between the two? As you look over here for the total supply burn, you can look at that 1.9 billion every day would take 3,593 days, or almost 94 days, to fully burn off the 6.9 trillion coins. That's 119 or 120 months, and that is 10 years. So it's not ridiculous. It's not saying it's going to take 800 years or 100 years or 1,000 years to play off or to play out. But it will take a long time. And a lot of times when you see things take that long of a time, you end up losing a lot of interest in that position, because it's not something where you're building a business that's now, branching off to this place and buying out this place and all this other stuff. It's a cryptocurrency, right? Yes, you have a chain that you could build upon and build new utility and make it very, very interesting. And it could be something absolutely huge, but you don't want to wait that long to see it start to get to a point where it can gather different utility based on whatever price it's actually at. So if you're looking at all burns and you actually had every single burn that went through there, or every single bit of volume that goes through the burns, 19.2 billion every day, it would take 83 days for this to burn off the entire supply. This is the difference between just off-chain, just on-chain and off-chain. That's the difference that we're seeing here. 83 days versus 3,593 days. All burns, that's basically 3 months that this can play out. Almost 3 months. Under 3 months. For a year, it's 0.2 years. It's under 3 months. I mean, it's under a year. And that's a huge difference. A huge difference. So when you do see something like that, it gets me excited and also makes me very passionate to reach out to a lot of these CEXs, or at least say something on Twitter or say something somewhere so that everybody can retweet it and say something, because we need to see that. I'm not saying that it needs to happen today or tomorrow. I'm not saying it even needs to happen in 3 months, but at least have a more aggressive timeline to where more CEXs are supporting this and not worrying about themselves. That's the issue. They are worrying about themselves. And I wish they wouldn't. I know they're worried about their bottom line for their exchange, but I really wish that they wouldn't. I wish they would see the potential in this and how much that this can grow. And I think maybe they do. It's only been 1 day since the on-chain burns have been implemented, and maybe CZ will come out and say Binance is doing this. Maybe they will come out and say HG is doing this, or KuCoin, or whatever other platform you're investing on or others are investing on. But yeah, that is the difference. And it could be bigger. It could be huge, because yes, we're seeing 1.6 trillion in volume, but that's only like 400 or 500 million dollars. Imagine if we see to the same level where we saw $3 billion, right? You're multiplying that, because that's $500 million that you're looking at there. But let's say you took that and you multiplied it by 4. So you get to a $2 billion price point, right? Or $2 billion in volume, right? That's 6.4 trillion, which again, would burn off a hell of a lot as you're looking at that. I don't know why I keep saying 83 days. I guess it must be, you're looking at all volume. No, that's not right. Oh man, for some reason it pulled down off of this and not off of that. But you're looking at 359 days. Sorry, that is a big difference. I thought that it looked weird that it wasn't there, but you still see it under a year. You still see it under a year, and that is a huge difference. So yeah, I messed up the calculation, but it's still going to take about a year for it to play out. So 1 year versus 10 years, I'll take 1 year over anything. And the thing is, 1 year is a long enough time for us to have different things that hit, not just the burn rate, but also looking at utility, also looking at other things that get launched. There's just so many other things that could factor into this. So anyways, sorry for the mistake. I will correct it on Twitter. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you guys check out my Patreon. Link is in the description. But I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.